Hi YouTubers. So if you've seen many of my other videos, you know that I run most of the time I run my John Deere 445 with a little buck loader. In fact, I barely ever take it off. It's normally on here for the whole year, and I found it extremely useful, very cost-effective piece of equipment. And as you know, if you've seen some of the videos, I use it a lot. I use it for everything. I use it for digging, grading, lifting, transporting, hauling trees, all sorts of things. And it's a very easy to use, low maintenance device. Although I do like from time to time, every couple of months or so, to give it a quick maintenance check over and a little greasing. So I thought I'd just go over that, what I do anyway. First of all, obviously you always want to keep an eye on your hydraulics. So every so often I'll just specifically check the hydraulic hoses coming out of the pistons and going to the couplings. Make sure there's no sign of any wear on those, any leakage. Check obviously your hydrostatic fuel, because that is your hydraulic fluid reservoir. Make sure you're not running low there, because that means there may be a leak somewhere. And so if that's all good, then I also make sure that I grease. Now there are 4 grease fittings on the little buck loader, certainly on mine anyway. One on each of these where it hinges off of the uprights here, and one on each of the 2 points where it hinges off of the arms at the bucket. So you've got 4 Zerk fittings. To get to them properly, you need to get the bucket in this position. Then you get complete access to those grease nipples there. And then I take my little grease gun here and I clip it over that nipple. You can clip it on there, squeeze, and give it a couple of squeezes until you can actually see. I don't know if you can see there's grease coming out at the side there. When you're seeing grease come out of the side, you know you're good. I've just overfilled this, you can see there, because I'd already done it. So I just use a general purpose maintenance grease, and that, I think, it keeps it nice, running smooth, and avoids any friction and wear. The next thing I do is I check these points here, and I typically spray. There's no grease nipples on where the piston hooks up, but I do spray with some lubricant, either the WD-40 or I use that silicone, that blaster silicone lubricant as well. So here, and then off of the one here and down there. And then finally, what I always like to make sure, because I don't take this off very often, on the odd occasion I have, if it's not kept lubed or greased, it can be very stiff to take off because it dries out and it gets sticky there. So I make sure, the last time I took it off, I made sure I greased the points of contact between the bucket fixture and the frame of the tractor down there. And then in between times, I'll spray some silicone grease in between and around the pins, anywhere I can just squeeze some grease or a little bit of spray into, just to keep that, so that the next time I take it off, I think if you take this on and off all the time, I'm sure that never becomes a problem. But if you leave it on as I do, the odd times you do take it off, it can be a little stiff. So by keeping it greased or lubricated there in some way, it's going to be a lot easier to remove. So when you do all those, I do find if I do that regularly, it keeps and I use this bucket, I work it very hard. I work it far more than, quite frankly, the manufacturers claim for it. But it's never given me a problem, quite frankly, in terms of the mechanism, how it, the actual movement and the the pistons and that sort of thing. They seem to hold up very well. So there you have it. That's my quick little maintenance regime, if you like, for my little buck loader. Hope you found this interesting and perhaps helpful. And if you have, please give me a like, and better still, please subscribe. I've got about 50 of these videos up on my tractors with the implements, and I'm no expert, but I'm an enthusiastic, experienced owner, so I like to share that information and have fun with these. And I always enjoy comments and questions or whatever, feedback. So anyway, hope you've enjoyed it. Have a nice day, and of course, please stay safe.